Hi, lovelies. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Martucci. I'm a psychic medium, certified crystal healer, paranormal investigator, Sasquatch enthusiast, Duchess of Donuts, also known as the Cosmoth Angel. You guys, welcome to the free weekly reading. Y'all, I'm back. As you can hear, I lost my voice when I went out for 2 weeks. I was supposed to have all this stuff. I was trying to prep and get ready to do makeup and mediumship, all the stuff. I had meditations I wanted to get done for you guys, all kinds of stuff. Well, Spirit had another laryngitis. Maybe Spirit laryngitis said, fuck your couch. And I had to sit down. I had to shut the fuck up. And at least I think that's what Spirit was trying to say to me. Just be quiet and listen to the message of the season. Because y'all, I don't know about you guys, but let's just move right into astro fuckery. And if you're new here, this is where I pull 3 piles of cards. You pick any and all that you're drawn towards. But first, I talk a little bit about the astro shit that's going on right now. So essentially, guys, we just had a full moon lunar eclipse early this morning at like right after midnight at Eastern time. So it's still in effect, and it will be for the next couple of days. We're going to see like immediate reflections from like what's happening right now within like the next 6 weeks, and this is going to play out for the next 6 months. So buckle in. What the fuck did you learn? What came up for you at this point? Can I say for me, this has really been about just facing what is. And for me, this full moon lunar eclipse was sitting in my 4th house of home and family. So for me, I made an important decision to go back to therapy. I need to sit down and I need to focus on my family of origin and the things that came up there. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you guys know that I'm a huge supporter of therapy. It's a beautiful thing. It's kept many people alive, including myself. So it's a beautiful thing all the way around. Therapy has been so healing and so good for me. And it doesn't work for everybody, but at least for me, talk therapy has been incredibly beneficial and helpful. And when I was in Oregon, I did all this beautiful, amazing healing. Even before that, I've been probably steady in therapy like for the last 10 years, just trying to take care of my trauma from my childhood. There is so much to unpack there. The last couple years has really kind of been like focusing on my mom and the mom healing there. And I really kind of felt like I closed out a chapter with that. It felt good. And so at this point, I'm going back into therapy and I'm trying to work on my father issues, my father healing. And so for anybody else that's thinking about going into therapy, especially after all the themes that have been coming up for you, please know that you're not alone. I'm fucking with you. And there's no fucking shame in it. It's a beautiful thing to be able to go and talk to somebody about your shit and make sure that you're not fucking up your life with it, right? So there's something here about helping somebody else, like help you to be consciously aware and be present in this moment so that you can deal with the things that are at your plate. I want to make sure too that like, I don't pass this bullshit on to my kid. Like he deserves better. I want to make sure I have a good relationship with him and all the men in my life. So that requires me sometimes to dig in deep. Really kind of face myself and the actions that I take in my life and what's going on for me and issues around home and healing and family and ancestral stuff sitting in that 4th house for me has just been, it's been really important. So I think something really beautiful that came up for me is I keep having this idea around the way that I think family should be, and I need to let that the fuck go. There's just some stories here I have to let go. I can't carry the family legacy, the 18 things that were passed down there. I've got too much on my plate and I can't carry it anymore. I think too, whenever we have issues with father, we have issues being seen and heard out in the world. And guys, I'm just going to say, I'm going to put this on the table. I kind of feel like I was made to be seen and heard. I mean, if you don't want to, you can change the channel, but here the fuck I am, so good luck with that. So I think that there's something to be said, especially with my horrific stage fright, about being seen and heard and being scared of that. So why not dig back in? This is only going to help me. And I think too, whenever that south node got activated here, you know, with the eclipses, it has a tendency to clean out that house. So how appropriate that I'm going back to therapy. I'm cleaning out old habits, old paradigms, old thought systems, and especially around what I thought family would be. It's time to let that shit go. And for me, I think the most beautiful thing that came up at this full moon was I'm now open to what family can be. and the possibilities there. There was a lot of pain. There was a lot of bullshit. Everything that I carried from that space. And I don't have to do that anymore. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to do makeup and mediumship, get these meditations and all this stuff rolling for you guys. But I think also too, the healing that I needed at this time, the quiet space that I needed to go into and to face my shit, take care of myself and recognize, okay, I need help and support through this. I don't have to do this all by myself, right? So I think I feel like I'm doing a good job. Or maybe I'm giving up. Who the fuck knows anymore, you guys? Who the fuck knows? So anybody else, anybody else that's going through that kind of shit, just know I've got your back. I see you. You're not alone. And please know that I feel like it takes more courage to be vulnerable and to be honest and true and to face yourself than it is to ignore and to push things away and pretend like things aren't happening. So I'm going to keep trying to choose the right option. Am I going to do that every time? Nope. Guess what I love to say? Not running for Jesus. I'm not. At this point, I'm just calling on Guy Fieri, guys. Like I always do. Guy Fieri, get down here. Take us to Flavor Town because I can't deal with the shit anymore. Can you also bring back my voice? That'd be great. Thanks. I got meditations I got to do, bro. Thanks. All right. All right, you guys. If you guys resonate with that, or if you're just done with the astrofuckery like I am, let's move on to the next. Oh yeah, final thing I want to say, turns into Gemini season at the end of the week, so guys, get ready for things to get maybe a little more lighthearted, a little more fun. In the midst of Mercury retrograde, the fuckery will abound, and we'll cover that more next week. So just know, we got good, happy, more lighter times coming, but continue to take care of yourself. Tune in. What the fuck do you need? Make sure we're looking over everything twice before you say something. Make sure you got the right info. So just take care of yourself. And if you're out there like me, take care of your voice. For fuck's sake. Like, really? Is that the way Mercury retrograde is going to go? Because fuck this noise. All right, follow me on the next screen. See you guys in a second. All right, and if you picked card pile number 1, here are your beautiful, but I'm not gonna lie to you, they're difficult cards. Let's talk about them. All right, the first one you got is the 9 of Swords. Second card you got is the 3 of Swords. Mother of God. The final card you got is the High Priestess. So I want to say right now with this card combination, it kind of feels like the worst case scenario with the 9 of Swords here, my fears, my worries, like literal nightmares keeping me up at night. You might be actually having nightmares around the 3 of Swords, some deep fucking pain here. Really too, I want to say with the High Priestess, maybe this is connected to a female that you looked up to. Maybe there's a spiritual person within the community that you trusted that maybe backstabbed you here. Sometimes the High Priestess can even talk about like an older female that has a spiritual bent to her. There's some kind of spiritual feeling to this woman, or intuitive feeling to this woman. Usually if this card gets pulled for somebody, this is going to talk about someone that has psychic and mediumship abilities. Worst case scenario around this situation kind of feels like we've been hurt here. It feels as though worst case scenario has happened. I am left feeling hurt and I don't know what to do. I want to say too, with this card combination, the High Priestess tells you to trust yourself. There's also something secret that might be coming to light here around this connection or around this person. So whoever picked card pile number 1, just know, whatever we're feeling through this, make sure that we're not just focusing on our fears and worries, even though the worst case scenario thing did happen here. Or I do want to say that this pain is valid and it hurts. It's still resonating. We need to deal with this is what we need to do. I want to say with all the swords and the High Priestess, go and speak to this person. There might be an opportunity to speak on this pain, to talk about this problem, to get it out in the open and to face and fucking deal with it. But whatever the fuck you do, trust yourself around the way that you're trying to handle this or the way that you want to go about dealing with this. Either way, it can't continue this way, guys. It can't. So whoever picked card pile number 1, the current situation that you're in cannot continue this way. How do I go back to this person and really talk to them? How do I tune in and trust myself? Maybe I put all my feelings, or maybe I put all my trust in somebody here and they backstabbed me. Again, whether this might be like a friend, maybe this is somebody within the spiritual community, maybe you just dealt with a really bad teacher that just didn't fucking turn out and shit got fucking ugly. Or again, maybe here, this even has to do with like you not trusting yourself. Oh boy. And just you didn't fucking trust yourself. And something here snowballed in like the ugliest of ways. Fuck that noise. We're not doing this anymore. So whether this has to do with an important female figure here, or whether this really has to do about yourself and how you haven't tuned in and you haven't been listening to yourself. Okay, you have been bitten in the butt. We cannot do this again. This cannot continue. We need to sit down and face whatever the fuck happened here. Can I also say that there might be a certain level of like forgiveness? Usually the high priestess doesn't talk about this normally, but there is a feeling here, at least with this card combination, like how can we forgive ourselves for not tuning in and trusting and listening? Because I think the more that we beat ourselves up, the worse that we're going to make this, okay? So I just quit beating yourself up, or quit telling yourself that you fucked up so bad. Even if you did, okay, we've got it. At this point, we need to sit down and face what actually happened, deal with what is. And to really start tuning in to trust yourself. So either speak up and say some words. Maybe this is about going and seeking a good therapist. Maybe this is even about going and speaking to like a good psychic medium. I mean, I know one or two, so just let a sister know about some difficult situation that's going on, so we can get maybe even a third-party perspective. We can see this from a different viewpoint, so that we can really start to learn to trust ourselves again. No matter what, if you pick card pile number 1, your major theme this week is around trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. And I want to say too, like facing what's actually going on. Quit running away from your feelings, tune in and listen to it. We can't spiritually bypass this, okay? So sit down and face what is so that you can move through it and find a better perspective or find a better way to deal with what the fuck is going on. You've got this, and no matter what you do, fucking trust yourself. All right. All right, and if you picked card pile number 2, here's your beautiful cards. Your first one is the 9 of Wands. Second card is the 10 of Cups. And your final card is the Page of Coins. So I want to say with this card combination, it's really interesting to me. With the 9 of Wands here, this is like, I ain't giving up. This is perseverance. This is like tenacity. This is like in it to win it. You're exhausted. And usually this card even tells me too, like, don't give up now. Like, we're so close. We're at the 9 here. Like, we're almost at the end of a cycle. So this is kind of about like the last effort or the last hurrah. Really getting to the end result here, which is the 10 of Cups, which is joy, happiness, and peace. There might even be with the Page of Coins here a message around like, maybe there's a message this week around, maybe this is the first kind of situation where you've like really hung tough on this, right? Maybe recently before, maybe this is about a relationship, maybe this is about a project or career, maybe, yes, a relationship, something in that phase. Maybe we never gave like the effort that we have with what we have right now. We're noticing that like the more that we also tune in around our happiness, our ease, our bliss, it also makes that road or that fight a little bit easier. Straight up, what's worth the fight? I totally believe your joy, your happiness, your ease, and your bliss is. So what is that? I also want to say with that Page of Coins showing up here, I was been trying to say, I can't get out of my own way. With the Page of Coins, it really kind of talks about like a discovery of wealth. So there might be a message this week around kind of discovering that all this energy, this time, this effort that I put into this, yeah, I may not have the end result yet, but I know what I'm going for. I know what I believe in. I have faith around this, and I'm showing up with my actions to show that I fucking mean it. I trust in this. I trust in this outcome. I'm going to get to it. I know that this is like my last push before I finally get there. The end of a cycle is coming. I deserve this happiness. I deserve this joy. And the message this week coming around that is like, you invested wisely. That there was a discovery of wealth within this, that not only can you do that, but whenever you put your mind to something, and especially when it comes to your end goal, your end focus being in that joy and what it is that you actually want, holy shit, the door's open. It's not an easy fight, but we fucking make it there, and we know what's worth fighting for now. That's fucking gorgeous. I don't know, that's gorgeous if you ask me. So pay attention to the messages, whether this is coming through other people, spirit, music, however this shows up. Now with Earth Element, I feel like this is going to be something tangible. So maybe it's a song that comes through, or a butterfly that shows up, or a rainbow that shoots out of your ass after you hit that 10 of fucking cups. Okay? I'm not here to judge your signs. I'm just saying they're going to show up, all right? So just know that I feel like there's going to be some kind of confirmation this week around all the work, all the effort, everything that you've been putting into this. Don't give up now. You're so close. Make sure that we're holding that vision clearly in our head and that our heart is continually pumping blood for what it is that we want here. And with the 10 of Cups, this is something emotionally nourishing. Usually this is around relationships. A lot of times it's going to talk about love. So whether this be family, best friends, siblings, lovers, it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever this connection is here this week, maybe this is even around just going for relationships that truly make you feel happy. Like they're worth the fight, they're worth the investment. And you're going to see that come back this week. So hold on tight, guys. This is a beautiful card pull. Just keep kicking ass. Don't give up now. You're so close. And you are worthy and deserving of all the beauty, the happy, the love that is coming for you. Well done investing wisely. And finally, if you picked card pile number 3, here's your beautiful cards. You got the 4 of Coins and the Page of Swords, as well as the Knight of Swords. So let's talk about it. So I feel like, okay, so we're kind of starting this one off around managed wealth, planning, control. What are we investing in? What are we looking at? A lot of times when I get the 4 of Coins, especially with this deck, I kind of want to say to you, like, are you actually looking at like buying a home, moving? This kind of feels like to me like we might even be like building our own space, either for work or for actual home. Maybe we're like thinking of like building our own home from like the ground up. There's something about like breaking ground. And so like, what are we managing? What are we how are we controlling everything that we've got going right now? Now, with the Page of Swords, this is kind of like situational awareness, like we're keeping an eye out. So right now, like this might be a really difficult time to like move on this project or to get this rig rolling. Because we also have Mercury retrograde right now, which helps 0 things. So, just it's understandable that the page is coming up with this right now, kind of feeling like I've got to watch what I'm doing with this, or even kind of looking at where I've invested my time, my energy, my love, my patience, my knowledge, my actual physical money. Like, where am I putting my time, everything that I just listed? Where am I putting this? And kind of watching how these things grow as I'm investing in them. When I notice I put more energy in one thing, that starts to bloom. Same thing with another. When I let go of another, it starts to relax. Or maybe the other person picks up the slack on that. So notice to see where, like, if you pick card pile number 3, where are these interchanges? Where are these things that I'm investing in? Are they giving back? Or do they actually make sense for what I'm putting into them? Does something need to be kind of equaled up here as I'm surveying the situation? Or maybe you guys are actually thinking about like building a home or whatever the fuck's going on here. Take your time and watch it right now. With the Knight being added to this, you're going to know when you have to take brave action. You're going to feel it tingle in your booty. And then you'll be able to fucking take off. So, but for right now, I really feel like this present moment's asking you, just sit and watch. Are these investments and everything that I'm planning for and that I'm trying to control here, I don't have maybe a whole bunch of control over it right now. I've got to sit back and watch how these things are doing. Maybe I've already invested some stuff here and I'm just waiting for it to come back or seeing what it's saying to me. So sit and watch, sit and listen. This is the perfect time to do that. And I'm telling you guys, the moment that you know that it's the green light is go, you're going to be able to take that and do something real with it. But in the meantime, I've got to gather more information. I've got to pay attention to what's going on. Maybe even just like kind of refining here again, where I'm planning and controlling. How am I helping this situation really blossom into what it is that I actually want? And I want to say here with all this earth and this swords here, this is like practical, realistic. This stuff has got to make sense. There's something very security oriented here. And a lot of times it has to do with family, home, and business. So if we're dealing with those 3 things this week, just pay attention. Where are we investing? Where are we planning? How are we controlling how some of these things are going? And recognizing how I can let go sometimes and just let the natural course of something happen. What information is it bringing back to me? Really sit and listen. Don't try to inject what you want in it. Just for this moment, in the present right now, listen to what it's saying back to you. It's either going to say yes or no. So what does that look like? And if it's a yes, how do I continue to take brave action around this? Making sure that like I'm getting what I need from this. Maybe even too with all the swords, How am I communicating my needs? How am I getting those needs met? How am I giving out the information, and what information am I receiving? Is this stuff good right now? And guys, again, with Mercury retrograde in the mix, well, just fucking assholes to the wind. That's what it feels like sometimes. So just tune in, go with the flow, listen to what it's saying, and then act on the information that comes into you. You'll know when the timing is right. Again, your booty will tingle, your nips will perk up, your hair will stand on end, and you'll be able to shimmy towards what the fuck it is that you want here. But this is going to take a little more patience on your part, even though I know you want to act right now. But listen, with that Earth kind of heading this up here with that four of coins, this is going to take patience, this is going to take planning, and this is going to take time. So give it that. And when brave action is asked for, fucking take it. In the meantime, listen to what it's saying and respond to the yeses and let go of the nos. Doesn't mean forever. Maybe it comes back around. But for right now, I need yeses. So where are the yeses and how am I working with them? Make sure it makes sense. All right, you guys, I hope to God that made sense. Any and all feedback helps me to grow. Middle fingers for no, caw for yes. Let me know which pile you picked or if it resonated for you. And thank you guys so much for that 2 weeks. Give me that break so I could recoup, get back here, and hopefully give you guys some assistance during these trying times, okay? So I'm sending you guys all the love. You know where to find me. If you guys need anything, do not be afraid to get a hold of me. Send me a message, okay? I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.